look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Officials in Texas now put the death toll at 108 after the catastrophic flooding. Others are still missing. Lieutenant Colonel Vin Baker is part of the search effort in Kerr County.
We've searched 26 river miles since the tragic event has started. We've had approximately 444 rescues, 30 recoveries.
CBS's Karen Hua.
It's really become this collective effort because we have agencies coming in from all across the country, even from Mexico, joining this search effort. Unfortunately, as the days go on, this is day 5, it will soon turn into a recovery mission as some of those folks are still missing.
Key ruling today from Wisconsin's Supreme Court. CBS's Chanel Call.
Clearing the way for the state of Wisconsin to ban conversion therapy, which is the practice of using therapy to try to convert LGBTQ plus people to heterosexuality or traditional gender expectations. That practice has been scientifically discredited.
Conversion therapy has been banned in 23 states and D.C. Travelers are noticing they can leave their shoes on through security at some airports today. CBS News confirming the TSA will no longer require shoe removal. Todd Curtis is an aviation safety consultant.
Was having people take their shoes off a bit of an overreaction? Having that rule for 20 years, I think it was.
A State Department cable warns U.S. diplomats of attempts to impersonate Secretary of State Rubio and possibly other officials using AI technology. It comes after word that an imposter posing as Rubio tried to reach out to at least 3 foreign ministers, a U.S. senator, and governor. The Trump administration making a new push to keep agricultural land in this country in American hands. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says more is now held by Chinese nationals, some near military installations.
Food security, just like where we get our water, that's all national security, especially in a contingency. So we would be asleep at the wheel if we were not fully a party to an effort like this to ensure that our nation had the food supply it needs. But specifically, our troops have what they need.
With some sympathy for striking garbage haulers and other public workers in Philadelphia who've been off the job for more than a week in a contract dispute.
The mayor, whoever's responsible for this, pay these people. I mean, pay them what they need and let them do their job.
Trash is piling up at sanitation drop-offs. The city has offered a 3-year deal with 3% wage hikes each year. Wall Street, the Dow is down 61 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Illegal street racing leaves a woman critically wounded. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Gig Harbor, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on State Route 16 eastbound. You're backed up from the Madrona Links Golf Course to Olympic Drive. A crash is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near 70th. You're jammed up in the 5 curve there. Travel time Tacoma to Federal Way still only about 17 minutes. In Shoreline, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane of southbound I-5 near Northeast 145th Street. Travel time Linwood to Seattle only about 42 minutes. That's pretty good for this time of day. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. An illegal street takeover has left a woman in critical condition. And as KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports, Auburn police are looking for witnesses to the July 4th event.
Auburn police say when officers arrived to control the crowd, one of those cars at this takeover took off and ran over an 18-year-old girl.
These events are extremely dangerous.
Auburn police say detectives in the traffic unit are combing through cameras across the city.
We know that there were a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people who probably have video, probably know exactly who it was and what happened.
As they continue their search for those responsible.
The man known as the Belltown Hellcat is heading to jail.
Ooh, I hit him last photo.
A judge says 22-year-old Miles Hudson put lives at risk by repeatedly driving recklessly through the city of Seattle in his modified Dodge Charger. KIRO 7 TV reports Hudson was sentenced to a year. With credit for time served, he'll spend about 30 days behind bars. He was also ordered to pay a $5,000 fine and do 24 hours of community service. A Port Orchard neighborhood is mourning the loss of a 40-year-old man and his 9-year-old daughter. They were killed in a weekend house fire. Michelle Merlino tells KIRO 7 TV.
We're still processing, and it's hard to believe that they're gone and the house is gone. It's hard to believe. And we don't know what we can do for them. It's hard.
Firefighters say the house was engulfed in flames when they arrived. The fire marshal is looking for the cause of that fire. Boeing continues to recover from last year's door plug blowout and 2 deadly MAX crashes 6 years ago. The company delivered 60 airplanes last month, including 42 MAX jets. And the Seattle Times says Boeing had its best delivery rate for the first half of the year since 2018. A Seattle woman marks a major milestone.
I was born in 1918.
Rosa just celebrated her 107th birthday. She tells KIRO 7 TV the secret to a long life is staying busy.
Always doing something, and don't sit there and say, oh, there's nothing to do. Go out and volunteer somewhere, but keep active.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday, July 8th. Ursula, I don't know what the heck I was just thinking when I came into the studio and I brought my backpack.
You look like you were ready to get on a plane.
What?
Yeah.
Well, because I know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about feet on a plane.
Well, we're going to
snakes on a plane. You ever seen that movie, Snakes on a Plane?
No, have not.
It's the worst.
But, okay, question. I mean, could it be true?
Huh.
One of the most annoying airport rituals might be going away. TSA could be easing up on this. And you and I coming up at 9:30 are going to talk about some of our most memorable airport scenarios involving bare feet. Maybe I should say nightmare scenarios.
Well, if it involves SCA, it'll take longer there than anywhere in the country.
Oh, you just had to get that in. Okay, well, we'll talk about that coming up at 9:30.
Yeah.
As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter, Northwest.
King County Assessor John Arthur Wilson is expected back in court today, this time facing accusations that he violated a restraining order by showing up outside his ex-fiance's home again. Seattle police arrested Wilson on Wednesday night after they say he pulled into Lee Keller's driveway while an officer was actively taking her report. She says it was the third incident just that week. And police say Wilson tried to drive away when they saw the officer, but he was stopped and arrested on suspicion of stalking. And this is now the second restraining order that Keller has filed against him just in this past year. She says he has been showing up near her home, tracked her at events, and has ignored repeated requests to stay away. John Arthur Wilson argues that all of these allegations are being distorted. He points out he has never assaulted his former fiancée. Keller's attorney, Paula Kurtz-Kreschel, told us recently on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Nothing he's said to date is relevant to the veracity of the restraining order. He has yet to deny the specific behaviors that led to this restraining order, and he can't. I mean, the evidence is literally in black and white and contained in the court's file.
And Gee, as you know, pressure is mounting. Mayor Bruce Harrell, State Senator Maka Dhingra, and others have called on Wilson to step down or drop out of the King County executive race, or both. He, for his part, has been doing the media rounds, including on other shows here on KIRO News Radio, proclaiming his innocence. But this is what Keller's attorney says.
He is waging this campaign against my client. And to be frank, he's going on every station he can to whine and basically cry witch hunt.
Now, a judge has set his bail at $50,000 and ordered him to surrender any weapons. The case has now been transferred to Snohomish County prosecutors because obviously there would be a conflict of interest. So the question is, should he step down? Should he resign?
Considering what we have seen the President of the United States do and continue to go, considering that we have now, today, based on your politics, based on what you are talking about, that's when people will pick and choose whether or not they support you. If he comes out and starts to talk a certain type of way, I believe he'll get support from some. I think he needs to step down. No doubt he needs to step down. Everyone else thinks he needs to step down. But again, we are in a different time now. We're in a different political time where people pick and choose based on politics if they want to support you. I'm reading the police report. This dude's got a problem. A real problem. And what I mean by problem, and in this time that he gets caught, there were pictures that were taken of him earlier. The police are there at the time, and they're talking about it. And as the police are there, he happens to be coming up right down the street. And then when they pull him over, he says, "Oh, I'm on official business. I was looking over here to buy and purchase a houseboat."
Which would be against the restraining order. So, again, he's in her neighborhood, and he's claiming that at night he's doing official business in violation of this restraining order. His attorney claims, well, if he wasn't a public official and he wasn't running for office, this would be nothing. No, the bottom line is, I believe public trust is eroded, if not gone. Yeah.
But he'll continue to run.
Well,
and he'll probably continue to go on people's shows. How about he come on this show?
He has said,
come on this show.
He has said that he will continue to run. He's not planning to leave. He denies wrongdoing. And I know there's people who say due process matters. He is an elected official. The problem is, unless there is a recall, he has to step down. I mean, it would have to be him to step down. And I think he needs help. I mean, this is someone that we have worked with before. I've talked to you about that. And I think that he needs help. I think refusing to step down right now is just a distraction. It keeps him from getting, I think, the help that he needs. Yeah. But as in terms of someone who lives in King County and votes in King County, I don't have confidence in him and his ability to do his job. This is a distraction.
Well, he could always have the FBI or the DOJ investigate, because if they investigate it, then there would be no pictures.
An 18-year-old woman is clinging to life in critical condition after a hit and run during a street takeover in Auburn. This happened on July 4th. It was all captured on camera. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has been tracking this and joins us live.
Yeah, just horrible. The video is just absolutely horrible. And we're going to have it up on mynorthwest.com. I mean, just caution when you watch it, though. So this happened on the 4th of July at night at the intersection, if you know the area, of Lake Tapps Parkway and Lakeland Hills Way. So on the video, you can see this driver take off when cops get there, and this driver hits the victim. She was crossing the street at the time. But listen to these witnesses who videotaped that whole thing.
Holy did you see that? That girl's dead. No, that girl's dead.
Holy dude, I
She's
cannot
dead.
believe we just witnessed something
No,
like
that girl's dead.
Yeah, sorry about, we obviously bleeped out the curse words, but I think that just shows the impact of this, what happened. So she didn't die. That's the good news. She was rushed to Harborview Medical Center, though, in critical condition. Police spokesperson Colby Crossley says they're still looking for the suspect. For people who do this kind of thing, these street takeovers and then do donuts in this intersection, there were a bunch of people around the intersection watching. It's kind of like graffiti. This is kind of like them tagging their intersection, and then they like to go back to that intersection and look at the skid marks, say, hey, I did that.
And they get people, and they get this big crowd because it's online. So is that how
they'll
they
stream
do
it live?
Basically? Yeah,
and get people going, and then people will show up, and and it's like one big party and celebration, and in this case, you've got a teenager, an 18-year-old, who's now in critical condition in the hospital.
Have they arrested anybody in connection with this?
Yeah, no suspects yet, and they're asking anyone with information, because there's got to be someone. There's more than one video of this. There's got to be someone who knows who did this, and so they're asking them, hey, just come forward, give this person up. It's not worth it.
Because this has become such a problem, though, Gee, remember in early 2024, new laws went into effect, basically even allowing police more leverage to basically stop these things. I was looking it up. If you're watching now, even if you're just watching, law enforcement can cite you or charge you under either a state law as an accomplice, or Seattle has a $100 spectator fine if you refuse to leave.
$100.
That's what I was going to ask you, though. Do you think? Okay, so right now, for the driver, first offense $500 traffic infraction for drivers and registered owners. Second is $800. Third and beyond $1,500. And these are the stricter laws. Do you think they go far enough? Because I'll tell you that in California, first offense, it could be up to 90 days in jail, $1,000 fine, and a 30-day vehicle impound.
How about as a spectator?
As a spectator, you can be fined in California up to $1,000 and jailed up to 90 days for just watching.
I don't know. I had a different angle that I was going to come hard on this topic, but I decided not to.
Why?
Because I think that this is a topic that as you get older, you start to better understand things. And I just wonder sometimes whether they're in their 20s, because I would hope that there aren't people in their 40s and 50s standing out there watching this. But as you get older, you start to realize, like messing with dangerous fireworks or standing there during something like this, that is very dangerous.
Well, now you got someone who might be dying.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Because of what happened. So, yeah, I have a take on it. I think the penalties should be a lot further, and I think we've taken the first step as our state, and Seattle has even tougher laws. But I think we need to go follow what California has done, because clearly the message is not getting out there, and these sorts of things are happening too often.
Too often, police would say, and police are saying they're happening more and more, especially on the south end. This is an issue that's growing in popularity. It's not going away, and they got to do something, in their words, to stop it now before more people get hurt.
Appreciate you.
You bet.
Thank you, Luke. Well, as long as we're talking about reckless driving, the guy behind Seattle's infamous Belltown Hellcat has just been sentenced to about a month in jail for that crime. His name is Miles Hudson. He has, of course, gained this massive online following because he revs his Dodge Charger at all hours and films high-speed stunts through city streets.
Ooh, I hit him past me. Hold on.
And he admitted in court that this is all part of his self-made brand that he started as a way to make money through content creation. The judge in his case wasn't impressed during sentencing this week. She says his behavior is extraordinarily reckless. She says he could have easily killed someone or himself. But then he was sentenced to 364 days in jail, but with most of that time suspended, he's going to serve 30 days behind bars, pay a $5,000 fine. He has to stay completely clean, no new criminal or traffic offenses. And I guess the question for you is 30 days behind bars enough to send a message?
No. And the reason why is there's a part of me that, we have been talking about Miles Hudson for some time now. And every time we're talking about it is him doing something that I think is not beneficial to him or the community or anyone. But there must be a reason that he keeps doing this. There must be a reason why he keeps pushing this to the edge. And, a lot of topics that we talk about, Ursula, we're living in different times right now. And the money, the social media, the content that you can get paid from. And let's be real, if you're a spectator or you're someone that is following these social media brands, it might be kind of exciting. And so you might tend to gain a lot of followers. And so, yeah.
Again, this was not a one-time mistake. He repeatedly endangered people's lives for online clout. I mean, if you talk to people who live in Belltown, people who live downtown, he's infamous for also basically keeping people up at night. He was profiting from his reckless behavior, and he gets 30 days, which, again, I believe feels like a slap on the wrist.
I think that when he gets out, he'll be even more popular.
Yes. So, again, I think that it just doesn't go far enough. Seattle police are investigating after someone fired multiple gunshots into a Ballard home early Sunday morning. They believe this attack may have been politically motivated. This neighbor tells KOMO 4 News this happened around 3 a.m.
I heard the pops, like pop, 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 few times.
Officers found bullet holes in both the home and the resident's car. The front window of the victims displayed several political signs, including pro-Trump banners, a Confederate flag, and a Police Lives Matter sign. And the homeowner had told KOMO 4 News this isn't the first time that she's been targeted. Her windows and vehicle have also been damaged before. SPD says the reason they believe this might have been politically motivated is because someone also placed stickers, including pride flags, on the victim's car. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The resident was asleep inside at the time. This neighbor, though, says she no longer feels safe.
I'm scared. I was shaking, and I think I'm going to move.
So SPD's Gun Violence Reduction Unit is investigating, but so far no arrests have been made.
This is ridiculous. And and looking at this story, 3 o'clock in the morning, Ursula, after the shots, then there were pride stickers placed on the vehicle, all because you don't like their support of Donald Trump. You don't like the support of things that were said on the windows, and it's ridiculous. And it should never be tolerated. It should never be justified. I don't care. We should not care about someone's support or affiliation with either party. There should never be any of this violence. And by the way, what the hell will if you don't like seeing a Trump sticker on the window, you take a gun out and shoot the window? What is wrong with you?
Exactly. And first of all, if you think that you are helping your cause, you are not. No. You are harming your cause. Not to mention, you are acting like a complete reckless idiot when you are shooting into a home without any thought of who could be on the receiving end of. You've lost your mind, and you are literally giving ammunition for people who may believe the way you do, but you've lost your argument because you have resorted to violence. And that goes with anything. When it gets to the point of violence, you've completely lost the message.
Yeah.
If anything, it is more harmful. You're giving commentators the ammo they need to say, look, see, here's the rainbow mob. Or look, you're giving them ammo, first of all. So you're not helping, but in any case, I hope police end up arresting somebody because that is ridiculous. Okay, squeezing one more in. Washington home prices are still going up, but so is the number of homes for sale. This is according to the Northwest Multiple Listing Service. The median price for a home or condo in Washington hit $670,000 in June, which is up just over 3% from last year. Now, that includes a condo, because you're like, wait a minute, that seems really low. But the bigger shift is that there was nearly 40% increase in the number of listings. So that is the largest inventory growth since 2022. But some of the state's most expensive counties include San Juan. $1 million is the median price. Here in King County, $913,000. Snohomish County, $775,000. So price is still going up, but more inventory.
When I sent you all this article, I had remorse. I had regret.
Why?
I'm really kind of tired of talking about how everything is going up in price. We talk about housing affordability, and Ursula, it feels like all the time. It costs this much to live in the Seattle area. You're paying this much for a median home. You need this much income. And I'm like, every single day, we're just telling each other, yo, it's rough out here. Imagine somebody calling you every single time. Hey, Ursula, let me tell you something.
But here's to help you even be more informed when you have that conversation about how expensive it is here. We're like California and Hawaii. I mean, that's what our prices are like, closer to. I looked at it. Washington ranks in the top 5 to 6 most expensive states for housing. Obviously, we're well above the national median. So, yes, it is more expensive to live here in the state of Washington.
Yeah. You know, I want to go back to something. There was a text message that we got, and when Ursula, you brought up the story about the firing gunshots at a home that had Trump support on it. And someone said, sorry, this sounds like a total false flag to me. Since when do people do drive-bys and then stick pride stickers on stuff? Sounds like a setup. And I just want to let them know that if I thought that this was a setup, I would have said that. This was not a setup. I just want to.
I'm going to wait for the police investigation, but we are reporting it as is, as we're told.
And I'll tell you why I don't think it's a setup. Because of the neighbors and what they had to say about that, and how this has been a continuation
thing,
and about what time did it happen, 3 a.m. So I don't think it was a setup. So, all right, Ursula, good stuff. Way to talk there. Coming up at 9:30, let's see what you got up your sleeve here. Oh. You don't have to take your shoes off at the airport. Now SEA won't take 17 hours. We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter-protesters, we go to Scott Carney.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day out for baseball here at T-Mobile Park.
Home. Home is where you gather. With friends. With family.
Ball to right field. It continues. Jorge Polanco.
Sometimes even folks you don't know. But in a way, you do. Because you share at least one thing in common. And one thing can be pretty powerful when it's multiplied by 40,000.
Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Welcome home.
The next Mariners homestand gets started with an AL West showdown against the Astros July 18th to 20th. Don't miss your chance to catch Cal and the crew square off against their division rivals at T-Mobile Park. Then it's 3 straight Mariners value games versus the Brewers July 21st to 23rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is Tyler.
It was a dull, aching, nauseating pain.
The pain in his shoulder had made it impossible for him to pursue his favorite sport.
It hurt even when I was just sitting at my desk.
His favorite sport is ultramarathon rowing.
Just like all those other crazy people that do running or cycling, except we do it rowing on the water.
Tyler needed a life ring, and so he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, for stem cell therapy. He didn't feel the results immediately, but after a few weeks...
all of a sudden I got up and I go, wait a minute, I'm not complaining about pain compared to other people I've seen going through surgeries. I'm up and walking around and they're still recovering. You're using your own body to regenerate what has been damaged. That's the biggest thing that I think people are missing.
Are you back to ultramarathoning?
There's a lot of good races out there, and I'm definitely back out on the water.
So whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
For over 50 years, Buc-ee's has provided oil changes, brakes, factory service, and more with expertise and good old-fashioned customer service. No appointment needed, friendly financing available. Visit Buc-ee's.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Clear Choice Dental Implants, one day can make the difference between hiding your smile and saying cheese. Thanks to our dental implant experts, our one-day teeth transformation culminates in your Clear Choice Day, the day when you start loving your smile again. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today. And let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Majority qualify for same-day dental implants after doctor recommendation. Offices owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. More than 100 people are now confirmed dead from flooding in central Texas, and hope for finding them missing alive is dwindling. Kerrville Police Sergeant Jonathan Lamb.
As far as I know, the last live rescue, unless there's new information, and I don't believe there is, was made on Friday.
This child was in one of the summer camps along the Guadalupe River that was overwhelmed by water.
There's a little hole that you could see through my window because I was on the top bunk. And I looked out and I saw water.
She and her sister are heading home with their parents. Other survivors have no home to go to.
This was our paradise, but now it's all gone. I mean, it's gone.
There's nothing left.
People from across the country are rushing in to help. At least 2 American Red Cross volunteers from Western Washington are on the ground in Central Texas. Will McMahon tells KIRO 7 TV he's volunteered in other disasters.
Everybody, in my experience, on all the disasters I've been on, everybody works really hard.
The Red Cross has set up several emergency shelters to provide food, medical, and financial support. President Trump has hinted that undocumented farm workers could get a pass on deportation, but Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins is saying
no amnesty under any circumstances. Mass deportations continue.
And she suggests new work requirements could fill the fields.
There are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America.
Amazon Prime Day is officially underway. The Seattle-based retail giant says that now through Friday, Prime members can snag discounts on all kinds of things. CBS News tech contributor Ian Schur.
Amazon's Prime Day sale in the summer has gone from a kind of silly moment into a genuine shopping holiday, which has multiple retailers now participating to compete with all of the traffic Amazon generates.
A long-time family-owned jewelry store in Bellevue plans to shut its doors for good. Alvin Goldfarb Jeweler opened in 1980. Stephen Goldfarb, who now runs the family business, says he's retiring, so the store will close in September. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 63 points, NASDAQ up 36. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Seattle, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on northbound I-5 at Swift Avenue. You're backed up to Boeing Field. In Gig Harbor, the crash has been cleared from State Route 16 eastbound near Olympic Drive. You're still very slow heading through the city. It looks like the crash has been cleared from I-5 northbound near 70th. Your backup in the 5 curve is starting to break up. Travel time Federal Way to Tacoma to Federal Way, only about 17 minutes. Traffic brought to you by FlySeaportAir.com, introducing convenient flights between Boeing Field and Portland on Seaport Airlines. Visit FlySeaportAir.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-80s. It's 69 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. And a lot of you are traveling right now this summer. Gee, you're sneezing. Are you okay?
Man, I'm over here struggling. Like R. Kelly said in that interview with Gayle King, I'm fighting for my life.
Okay, but I think we're not going to have a repeat of what happened a few weeks ago where all of a sudden it was like just
that was bad.
Liquid coming out of, yeah.
That was bad.
Okay.
All right, what you got for us?
Okay, well, let's talk about one of the least favorite things about going through security at the airport. I think for a lot of us it's when you have to take off your shoes if you're not TSA pre-check. Mm-hmm. So for the first time in nearly 20 years, TSA is finally going to let regular non-TSA pre-check folks keep their shoes on going through airport security.
Okay.
Yep. And I don't think it's at all airports, but we did just get confirmation that it is happening at SeaTac Airport.
SEA.
SEA. Right.
Want Coop to be mad
exactly.
at
Okay, so the TSA hasn't officially confirmed it, but the Port of Seattle and Perry Cooper has confirmed to us that the shoe rule has been dropped as of yesterday morning, and TSA is testing this out at a bunch of airports around the country.
Yeah.
So that's certainly good news, and we could use good news at the airport.
Sure can. Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have some stories, G.
I mean, I don't have any great stories, but it had been a long time since I've had to take my shoes off because your boy didn't have TSA pre-check for a long time. Well, just recently, organization paid for me to fly out there to do their event, and I didn't pay attention. And so I just got to the airport. I go to TSA pre-check line, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you don't have TSA pre-check." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get the ticket. I didn't set it up." So your boy,
you got a taste of what it's like to be
So your boy had to go in that long line. And then in a long line, then I see the person in front of me. I see them take their shoes off. Here's the problem.
Okay.
Your boy slipped on some shoes with no socks on that day. You feel me?
Tell me you weren't wearing slides in the airport.
Barefoot.
Oh,
I had to take my shoes off. and I'm barefoot walking on that floor. Just nasty. And full disclosure is nasty. And y'all know I paint my toenails. You feel me?
Not everybody knows that.
Not everybody knows that. You didn't know that. So this is Gee and Ursula Show. Y'all know we family. I paint my toenails black.
So are people now looking at your toes?
Yeah, they're looking at my toes.
And are you crimping up your toes so that they can't see your toenail polish?
I'm very confident in my toes. If you think a certain thing a way about me because I got black toenails by way of polish, then I don't know what to say because black toenails the other way would be like, ooh. Right, but by way of polish, right? That's fine. So that was a disaster. So the fact that nobody has to go through that anymore, that's great. And while we're here, hey, TSA, can we do one more thing?
What's that?
Can we stop that dumb rule of 3.5 ounces? Can we stop that, please? Just can we get 8 ounces? Stop this 3.5, because some folks got perfumes and colognes that might be above that,
which then have to go into your checked luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a huge thing.
Yeah. How about your story?
Right now, it's a bounty for when people forget, like, oh no, and you have to give it up there.
Right.
Like, do you ever wonder what happens to all those things that you give up right there?
I wonder. How about you? You got any stories?
Yeah, I have been in line where I only recently got TSA PreCheck, which if you don't have it yet, you really need to get that done because it is great not having to take off your shoes because I have been caught having to take off my shoes, not having the socks, and having to walk barefoot.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's
the worst.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
And even worse is being behind somebody else who takes off their shoes, and their sweaty feet have been in those shoes for a long time. And you know that my nose is really sensitive.
You be smelling them tootsies?
So that is not the way you want to get through the line. Yeah. But in any case, this is certainly good news. I mean, it's been a long time coming.
Sophia, you got something to say.
I feel like, hot take, even if you have TSA PreCheck, going to the airport in flops or like open-toed shoes is a rookie risky move because why do you want to have your feet exposed to that air in general? On an airplane? With your toes out? I can't. I can't do it.
Bring some socks though.
Well,
and now you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, and Tamara in Tacoma mentioned that she flies with booties. My mom's like the little like plastic. My mom's really into the plastic booties. She brings those everywhere to fly. But I just feel like even with TSA PreCheck, really, guys, put the dogs away. Like no one needs to see those.
Sophia, did you judge me when you heard about me painting my toenails black?
Well, not about your toenails painting black. I judge you more for wearing slides to the airport.
Sean in Arlington is charging you. Paint toenails? If it helped prevent fungus, I could see doing that.
I have questions, but I'll save them for off the air.
What kind of questions do you have?
Well, I guess the big one is why.
Because I think they're cool.
Okay.
No, I really do. I really do like it. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about painting my fingernails.
Okay.
Because,
why not?
Because the thing is, I'll tell you why I like doing it. Because I saw it done, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's kind of like, it reminds me when I used to wear pink. Remember, people were like, oh, you can't wear pink. Okay, so what if I do?
Yeah.
Now what?
If you enjoy it, more power to you. I think people make assumptions of what sometimes when people wear, like sometimes you'll wear pearls around your neck.
Listen, Ursula, if you see my toenails and fingernails painted a certain color and you assume that I sleep naked, okay.
Okay. Robin Puyallup tells me, he says most of the confiscated items get auctioned off. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, hey, coming up.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't have News Boss open up. Oh, are you the same person at work as you are on vacation, Ursula?
No.
So we're about to find out. We're going to talk about if your personality changes on vacation. Next, Gee and Ursula.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Manda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Manda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit Pfizerforall.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you've been thinking about surgery or even joint replacement, here's something to consider. Hi, it's Dave Ross. I've talked to over 100 patients of Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, and many of them have told me about life-changing results. Their words, after treatment at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. These are people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, and they're back to hiking, jogging, playing tennis, skiing, golfing, walking up and down stairs, playing with the kids and the grandkids, and they're doing it without pain and without surgery. Dr. Wagner's 60-minute outpatient procedure uses your own stem cells, and because they're your own stem cells, they can help regenerate your own cartilage in your own joints. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician. He has over 30 years of experience, and he's performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. And he's one of the few doing it the right way. So, listen to his patients, and remember, whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before you choose surgery, first see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Get the facts, then get back in the game at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, we're going to be talking about the tariff deadline. I mean, the one that keeps getting erased and then drawn again and then erased and then drawn again. So we will talk about it for real this time. Ursula will bring that up. But right now, what is your vacation persona? Are you the same on vacation as you are when you're not on vacation? Well, CBS News takes a look at a new Fay travel insurance survey that shows that this is a thing, and Nate Burleson, my man, was talking about it.
People on vacation, they really do change and actually let their hair down. So 40% of the 3,000 people polled said they become a different person entirely when they go away. 60% believe that their travel alter ego that comes out when they are away is their truest self. 45% say their adventurous and fun side comes out on vacation. People say they spend time more freely, they try unfamiliar foods, and they are open to taking more risks. 42% say that they even become more friendly. And almost half said that they even lie about their identity and make up things about themselves.
I mean, come on, Nate B. You was rolling into that end part about lying about your identity. Well, I guess when you're 20s, unless you get caught telling people that you're a pro player, yeah, that could be happening. But anyway, this topic right here, Ursula.
Yeah. So who do you become?
Well, my wife says it's vacation G.
Okay.
She says that when I'm out of town, I'm a different person. I do think that I'm more fun out of town. I think that, and the reason why these things, I'm definitely more anxious. Like I can't sit still. I want to get going. And I think the reason why is because I'm not stressing about what I have to do the later that day or the next day. I know that I'm away from home, away from work, and I'm good. So I think that I am a better, more fun person to be around on vacation than when I'm not. How about you?
Well, I think that feels like it would naturally be the case because you're not dealing with deadlines. You're not dealing with people's expectations. I am definitely much more relaxed on vacation. I used to not be, though. I used to be really bad about still checking, when I was in management, still checking my emails and all that. That was the best decision to get out of management because when I am on vacation, when I'm out of this building, I am out. And I try not to worry when I'm on vacation about anything having to, I really do try to unplug. I can't be much friendlier, but I feel like I'm much more willing to try different things. Like the whole thing about trying different food. Yes, because a lot of times you're going to places where you may never get a chance to go back to again.
Right.
I generally end up spending more than I normally would because, again, trying out different things. But the thing I hate while on vacation is to have to stick to a schedule. And because, again, what's so great about being on vacation is like maybe I decide that instead of going to seeing XYZ, I'm going to go spend the day at the beach, and I just hate having it so regimented. Like, okay, we need to do this for a tour and this, and this. You know what? Maybe I just want to chill.
Right. I think that when I say the vacation G, as my wife says, I want to really kind of pull you guys into it and let you guys know what that really is the vacation G. That is actually a time if I'm out of time, if I'm on vacation, not if I'm going to watch my son play sports and all that stuff, but if I'm actually on a vacation relaxation, then it might be a good chance that G might have an adult beverage during that time. And so that's where the vacation G comes out. That's number one. Number two, I was thinking about this. There is an alter ego that does come out, and Ursula, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Here at home, every single day, I come to work. I go to the gym first. I come to work. I go home. I told you guys, I make fun of our bedroom. It's terrible. It's from the 70s, all that stuff. But Ursula, when I'm on vacation, I think I'm the man on vacation. So I feel that way. I want to be in a nice hotel. I want to do this. So there's an alter ego that comes out like this is real life, but it's not. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation.
One of the best
Make
days.
it rain.
One of the best days is the day before a vacation.
Yeah.
The anticipation. Just even packing, even though I hate packing, just the idea of going on vacation. And one of the worst days is the day before your vacation ends, or the day your vacation ends. Like, oh.
I got one for you. The worst and best days on vacation. The best day on vacation is on the other side of TSA. That when you're on the other side of TSA, bag check.
Everything's still ahead of you.
That's one. The worst part of vacation is on the way to the airport.
Oh, God.
And
Yeah, I was going to say, before the vacation, I'm more stressed because I'm like, I have to get everything organized. But if I miss my flight, I'm like not relaxed until I'm like on the plane ready to take off.
Do you miss flights?
No, I've never missed a flight before. Oh. But I do like to test airport theory because I hate being too early to the airport.
Well, do you like to go to museums and that kind of thing when you're on vacation? Or do you like just to have free
are you
roaming
relaxer?
time?
So as I'm getting older now, I want to do more of those things.
Which
the museums.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh, are you got something to say to Long Live Mark? Because I know he likes that stuff.
Mark loves, and this is the beauty of our relationship. We get to each do the things that we love to do.
Good stuff. Yeah, let's see. Vacation G is coming out Labor Day weekend. That's the next time. All right, coming up next, the tariff. Is there really a deadline this time? Is it for real? Ursula's going to talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show. Even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Hey guys, it's Keith Ashafy from Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington, and we are not done celebrating 100 years of industry leadership. For a limited time, get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, or choose 60 months of 0% financing with no interest and equal payments. That's right, 100 years strong, and we're giving you more ways to save on the Pella difference. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaPNW.com. Thank you again for letting us serve you in the Northwest.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is Holly Robinson Peete for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diet, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump praises those who've helped save people in the Texas flood disaster.
We brought in a lot of helicopters from all over, and we had a lot of helicopters. It was actually dangerous, a lot of helicopters up there, but they were real pros, and they were responsible for pulling out a lot of people.
The president plans to go to the region Friday.
I think a lot of lives have been saved. That could have been as bad as it was, and you could have lost double or triple. This thing was just really horrible.
The death toll now stands at 109. 5 campers and a counselor are still unaccounted for at Camp Mystic, which was washed away. CBS's Jason Allen.
This is really slow and tedious work, right? These rescue crews are having to work in sections, a kilometer at a time, a half mile or so at a time until they can get things cleared. Only then can the heavy machinery come in and clear out all of this debris. And although rain chances are a lot lower than they have been over the past few days, anything that does fall now is falling on ground that is saturated.
A day after President Trump said the U.S. would resume weapons deliveries to Ukraine, he lashed out at Russia's Vladimir Putin at a cabinet meeting, saying he's throwing BS, and much of what he says is meaningless. CBS's Eleanor Watson is at the Pentagon.
U.S. officials have not said what specifically will be sent to Ukraine, but what Ukraine has been asking for, really pleading for, are additional interceptor missiles that can shoot down incoming drones and missiles aimed at Ukrainian cities.
A State Department cable warns American diplomats of attempts to impersonate Secretary of State Rubio and perhaps other officials using AI technology. It comes after word that an imposter posing as Rubio tried to reach out to at least 3 foreign ministers, a U.S. senator, and governor. Trash is piling up at drop-off spots in Philadelphia as a strike by garbage haulers and other public workers is into a second week. Some residents are already fed up.
It's outrageous already. So if this thing go another 2 weeks or so,
it's going to be totally out of hand.
In the Northeast, it's been the summer of the tick.
The CDC says emergency room visits for tick bites are at their highest level in 5 years. Dr. Thomas Mather at the University of Rhode Island says deer ticks, which carry Lyme and other diseases, have thrived because the spring was so damp.
So we had good conditions in May and June for tick survival.
Jen Daigneault of Quincy, Massachusetts, had her 2-year-old son tested for Lyme disease after he developed a scary-looking rash.
Luckily, he didn't have it. The rash went away, but it has been a frustrating season.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 130. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Your DoorDash delivery is going to cost you more. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Gig Harbor, the crash has been cleared from State Route 16 eastbound near Olympic Drive. Your backup finally clearing out. In Seattle, you have disabled vehicles blocking a lane on northbound I-5 at Columbian Way and another at Swift Avenue. You're backed up to Boeing Field. Travel time Federal Way to Seattle, 40 minutes. What we'd expect this time of day, so not much of an impact there. You might have a new crash on the 520 bridge. I'm seeing things jamming up east of Mont like right now. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on 2024 heat pumps and AC during the Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. We're learning more about a Port Orchard house fire that killed a father and daughter. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports.
It was around 1:30 a.m. Saturday, and Dave and Michelle were standing face to face with their next-door neighbors.
She said, hey, our house is on fire.
The windows popping out, the flames bursting inside.
It was almost entirely engulfed.
Investigators say 6 people were inside. 2 of them couldn't make it out alive. 40-year-old Carlin Sheedy and his 9-year-old daughter, Jaden. Fire marshals believe the fire started in the basement, creating pressure on the front door, making it difficult to open.
No cause for that fire yet. An 18-year-old woman is in critical condition after being hit by a car during a street takeover in Auburn. On the 4th of July, Officer Colby Crossley tells KIRO 7 TV.
We know that there were a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people who probably have video, probably know exactly who it was and what happened, saw everything as it unfolded.
Police are urging witnesses to come forward as they comb through surveillance video. 2 people were critically wounded when their car slammed into a daycare in Kent. It was the middle of the night. No children were inside the building at the time. A witness tells KIRO 7 TV.
There was car parts everywhere, and how anybody got in or out of that car, I don't know.
Witnesses say the Chevrolet Camaro may have been racing with an SUV right before the crash. DoorDash says it's raising prices for Seattle customers again. The company's blaming city regulations that it says require drivers to be paid up to $30 an hour. The company claims the rules have made Seattle the costliest city for delivery in the country, leading to fewer orders and longer wait times. City leaders argue the regulations ensure gig workers are treated fairly. A warning from Washington State University: don't bother the bears.
Apparently, some of the people visiting the WSU Bear Center have been trying to poke those research animals with sticks and branches. Wazoo police say that's not only harmful, it's illegal. If you hurt a research animal, you've committed a Class C felony, which can get you up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Police also warn that there are security cameras monitoring the area, so people who poke the bears will be reported. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-80s. It's 69 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday, July 8th. Speaking of on vacations and or retirement, Ursula, our good friend Jason in Buckley says he loves hearing personal stories and family things because of the different backgrounds that we have. Okay. We talked about Chef and Nate, and one of the best things about retirement is sleeping in and then getting to listen to our show. He and his wife Karen talk about it and hang out with the show.
Nice.
Yeah. Good morning,
and
Ursula.
I love that he is enjoying his retirement.
Listening to the show.
And appreciate that. I know a lot of folks are enjoying their retirement, and I know that there are some folks who are wondering, is Ursula ready to retire? And the answer is no. I'm only turning 60. I just want to point that out.
Have you?
It feels like I've been here forever, but
have you ever heard of or seen the show on Hulu called The Bear?
I've watched a few episodes of that, yes.
So both my wife and I, especially Lillian, she said every time she watches, it just makes anxiety because it's so intense, right?
Yes.
I said to myself, that's how people are when they listen to me. I think I bring out their anxiety. All right, Ursula, what's going on at 10 o'clock hour?
Well, let's get to it. Well, first of all, I want to remind everybody that you can text us. Our text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And now President Trump is doubling down. August 1st, he says, is the final deadline for those new reciprocal tariffs. He says there are going to be no more extensions. And at a recent news conference, he emphasized that the deadline is firm. And he pointed out that if countries do come forward with acceptable deals, he would consider them, although he's not optimistic, especially about Japan. So these new tariffs range from anywhere from 25 to 40%, and they affect key allies, including Japan and South Korea and over a dozen others. But critics are saying this bluff sounds way too familiar. And there are some deep insiders in the administration who are telling Politico and the Daily Beast that this whole tariff showdown is a quote-unquote theatrical show, a stage performance for the cameras. There's no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark. And the White House spokeswoman, Caroline Leavitt, was asked about this yesterday.
Perhaps the administration found it more difficult to negotiate these trade deals, or whatever happened to 90 deals in 90 days?
No, it's an acknowledgement that this administration is doing what's best for the American worker, and we want the best deals possible for our workers, for our manufacturing base, for our middle class, and they are doing this deliberately and appropriately on behalf of our country's interests.
Market. Gee, I'm curious if you've checked the stock market recently. Financial markets have not been entirely convinced about this whole tariff situation. You know, there is that taco trade nickname now for President Trump, which he doesn't appreciate. Trump always chickens out, reflecting some belief that this is a pattern that could repeat. But are you believing this August 1st deadline now?
No, I'm not. But then again, look, I believe the tariff deadline the same way I believe the list will be revealed on that flight log to Epstein Island, right? That's how much everything is a show. And the thing is, Ursula, I find it interesting the way they always bring up the working class and the people that are working, the citizens of America that are working hard, the working class in this country. And it really, truly baffles me how everything is aligned to help out billionaires in this country. I don't want to go on a tangent on that, but you asked me a question about tariffs. No, I don't believe August 1st is going to be the deadline. I will continue to believe that all of this is theatrics, and we will continue. By the way, now he's considering sending weapons to help out Ukraine now. Like, everything is just, I feel like we're a big old episode of The Apprentice. That's what we're doing every day.
And so Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was on CNN's State of the Union, and he says, he admitted that many countries have not even bothered to pick up the phone because remember, this whole thing about they're lining up to do deals with us. But what this causes, and this is just not being TDS or whatever. The problem is that businesses cannot plan. So if you talk to anyone who has a business that relies on goods from other countries, they don't know whether should we raise prices right now. Even Amazon talking about Prime Day and 4 days of Prime Day now. Are we supposed to be holding back on hiring? Are we supposed to be bracing for what some experts have said will end up being stagflation, slower growth, and rising prices? These are real concerns. And it's hard to plan. And at the same time, right now, unemployment is still low at 4.1%. So, I mean, their economists are saying, why even go to this whole tariff route why rock the boat?
Right.
I mean, are you looking at what Wall Street is doing right now?
Yeah, it's down a little bit on the stock market.
And again, I mean, reflecting this uncertainty.
Yeah.
But, I mean, after it nosedived, it made a big recovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so, again, I mean, the concern is now come off August 1st, what is all that going to mean?
Do you think the deadline is going to be August 1st? You think it's going to happen?
I just don't think. I think a lot of companies are calling countries are calling his bluff, basically.
You calling his bluff?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some kind of like the whole TikTok thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening with TikTok? By the way, other than I understand there's going to be layoffs locally with TikTok, but that TikTok deadline keeps getting extended as well. Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of impacts, though, we know that the big, beautiful bill, so-called, has now passed, and Mason General Hospital in Shelton is one of 14 rural hospitals in our state facing serious uncertainty after President Trump signed sweeping Medicaid reforms into law last week. So these changes could strip millions in funding from small community hospitals that rely heavily on Medicaid reimbursements, especially in places like Mason County. What we don't realize is that about a quarter of patients are on Apple Health, which is the state's Medicaid program. And remember, we were talking last week how Washington stands to lose the most among states in this country because of the number of people who enrolled in Apple Health when Obamacare was first passed. So Mason Health CEO says the hospital isn't closing just yet, but he warns that key services like obstetric care are going to be most vulnerable. Around 5,000 patients in that area alone are expected to lose coverage or access to care over time. Mm. The Washington State Hospital Association is giving even more dire predictions. They're saying the cuts will be devastating for both rural and urban hospitals. They are warning of closures, reduced access, and longer wait times for care, even in cities like Seattle and Tacoma. But the Republican Party chair, Jim Walsh, is defending these cuts. He says the state overextended Medicaid enrollment without adequate funding, and he claims that has led to diluted care for everybody.
Yeah. You know, it's done now, and these things will take effect after the 26 elections next year. But Ursula, I still am just shocked and still kind of numb to the fact. Like, it doesn't surprise me that we have the greed of the elite, the greed of the 1%. That doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is the loyalty of the poor when it comes to these things. What surprises me is we have people that are okay, the Jim Walshes of the world, that are okay with health care being slashed for millions of Americans because they want to tell you that things are being that they were over pursued, given out, and there's so much fraud and all these things. And it's one of those things where I feel like that there's a lot of Americans that were more concerned with how can this policy or bill or whatever hurt others more so than help them. And I think in years to come, when our grandchildren and great...
Can I just stop you there, though? Sorry, and I don't mean to stop you in your tracks,
Sure.
but do you think that is the prevalent sentiment going in? How can I hurt others versus thinking that, hey, these things might actually help me?
Have you not seen the mass support for deportations? Have you not seen, when we talk about conversations of being okay with the justification of millions of people losing out on food benefits? Yeah. Yes. This is the only way to explain how the billionaires, the 1%, get so much support from the poor. When I am talking about these topics, full transparency, I'm not hurting. And I am talking about, so yeah, it's the only explanation that I can have that there were people that were okay as long as they are getting hurt. But then you figure out, like, wait a minute, they is all of us. And there will be an impact.
It will be all of us.
On all of us.
Yes.
So
people don't understand how Medicaid and Medicare work if they think they're not going to be impacted.
Here's a question. This is a simple question that I've had people in my inbox. And Ursula, you make fun of me on the yes or no. Yes or no? When this bill takes effect at the end of 2026, yes or no, will millions of Americans lose access to health care? It's a yes or no question. No. And the answer is yes.
Yes. They don't believe it. They're not. It's not all of it's going to be right away. Some of it's going to be a couple years down the road. Okay, just as long as we're kind of breaking down some of the things that we don't realize, because remember with the targeting of undocumented immigrants, there was some talk by the president of giving grace to amnesty for farm workers. But now the U.S. Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, says, no, there's not going to be any amnesty for undocumented farm workers. And listen to this.
I can't underscore enough. There will be no amnesty. The mass deportations continue, but in a strategic way, and we move the workforce towards automation and 100% American participation, which again, with 34 million people, able-bodied adults on Medicaid, we should be able to do that fairly quickly.
Again, that is the Agriculture Secretary who says that the Trump administration is aiming for a 100% American workforce. Again, what's hard to track is the president says one thing, and then now the Agriculture Secretary says no. What do you think the effect is going to be?
We're going to see L.A. times 10. Right now, currently, there has been $5 billion allocated towards ICE. Everything that you have been seeing has been under the budget of $5 billion. When this bill, now that it has passed, there will be $72 billion allocated to ICE. We will see L.A. times 10 throughout the country. And when we are talking about mass deportation, and we are talking about there's so many undocumented immigrants here in the country, my question is this: then why is the target only the brown folks? Why is it only the brown folks in our country that are targeted? Why are only the brown folks that are being rounded up in vans? I have yet to hear about any other nationality.
Yeah, the people who overstayed their visas.
That overstayed their visas. That they're going up. Just think about that. Vans pulling up with people in masks.
Well, so speaking of which, did you hear what happened in L.A.
Yes,
at MacArthur Park?
Yes, I did.
So immigration agents in military green surrounded MacArthur Park, and they basically came up with a show of force, and with horses, armored vehicles, carrying rifles, with tactical gear in the middle of the heart of, if you're not familiar with MacArthur Park, it is in the heart of the an area that is heavily populated with immigrants in L.A. And they were there because they were supposed to round up undocumented immigrants, and apparently they didn't find any or find many. And there had been rumors since at least Sunday that there was going to be this operation at the park, and flyers were plastered everywhere warning that ICE was going to be coming. And this is what California's Governor Gavin Newsom says about that.
What a disgrace, what's happening in MacArthur Park. What theater. On the 6-month anniversary, after all, of these fires. That's the message from the polluted heart of the President of the United States. The polluted heart of Stephen Miller. Those National Guard men and women that were out there protecting people are now being used as political pawns. Out there on horsebacks running through soccer fields in the middle of the day, timed around announcements and events like this. It says everything you and I need to know about the state of mind of the President of the United States.
Did you guys see? Did you see that video? You see how gross that was? And by the way, just so you all know, there are still troops right now in L.A. Right now. Imagine signing up for the armed forces, Marines, Navy, whatever the case might be, Army, Air Force, whatever it might be. And your job is doing what they are doing right now in L.A. You're there in L.A. Why? Because there is a narrative in this country that the brown folks of this country are the boogeyman. That has been the same MO. There used to be a time, still is, where the black folks are the boogeyman. It's the same playbook. Different people are the boogeyman.
And what is disturbing, though, is now there is this cash infusion of you said $150 billion going toward immigration enforcement and border security. So are we going to expect to see more of this?
Yes. You will see more of this. That will bring about chaos. That will bring about reasons, fear, and it'll bring reasons for military to be deployed. So they'll be deployed in L.A., it'll be deployed in other parts of this country. And this is what Stephen Miller wants. The person that's behind all of this. But again, if undocumented immigrants, Ursula, are the problem, then why is it only pointed at our brown folks in this country? Beyond me. Good stuff, Ursula. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, what age you want to live to?
Okay, this is going to be a fun story.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun story because there's a local woman who, I believe she's 107.
107?
Like, what is her secret? And do you want to live to 107?
I got a question right back for you, Ursula. We'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
Check it out, y'all. This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
You listen to Seattle's morning news every morning. What do Charlie and Manda listen to every afternoon?
I absolutely love listening to John Curley because he makes you think, which I love.
John has a real special talent in being able to talk about the topics we care about, but he's always trying to make it fun. You're going, oh, this guy actually gets it.
The John Curley Show, weekdays 3 to 7. Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio App.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Relive the magic of ABBA at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort with direct from Sweden, the music of ABBA. One night only, Saturday, August 16th. Hear timeless hits like Waterloo, Fernando, and Dancing Queen, performed by top Swedish tribute artists. Doors open at 6:30, show starts at 7:30. Don't miss direct from Sweden, the music of ABBA. Tickets start at $49. Get yours now at angelofthewinds.com.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
When the heat's an 11, cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Some AC you'll be loving when your house is an oven.
Dayandnight.net.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Call now to get 10% off an air conditioner or heat pump. Plus, no payments or interest for a year OAC.
Dayandnight.net.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never developed cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed and financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
What a tragic situation.
President Trump says he plans to visit Central Texas, where at least 108 people have died from flash flooding. Most of the victims were in one county, where officials are facing tough questions.
87 dead in Kerr County, 56 adults and 30 children. More questions about when local leaders were made aware of the flooding on Friday and what they did. Sheriff Larry Letha.
And we're in the process of trying to put a timeline. That's going to take a little bit of time. As I've told you several times, that is not my priority this time.
With County Judge Rob Kelly not in attendance, Game Warden Ben Baker was asked about the failure to call evacuations.
You have many questions.
The judge is not here.
We understand that, but right now, this team up here is focused on bringing people home.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
President Trump is delaying his tariffs tariffs set to take effect this week until August 1st. The head of the International Trade Center, Pamela Koch-Hamilton, says that's not helpful.
This move actually extends the period of uncertainty, undermining long-term investment and business contracts and creating further uncertainty and instability.
Trump is inviting countries to negotiate how much their goods should be taxed when they're imported to the U.S. Amazon Prime starts today. CBS tech analyst Ian Scherr.
Particularly for Amazon, it seems to have tapped into this holiday shopping in the summer idea, which has been around for a long time, but supercharged by Amazon and now a bunch of other retailers as well.
TikTok's parent company ByteDance has laid off 65 of its Bellevue employees. According to a statement obtained by the Seattle Times, the cuts affect roles with TikTok Shop. King County Assessor John Arthur Wilson expected back in a courtroom today on charges he violated a court order to stay away from his ex-fiancée.
He will be arraigned in King County, but Casey McNerney with the King County Prosecutor's Office says if charges are filed, the case will be handled by prosecutors in Snohomish County.
The King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office represents the Assessor's Office. We thought just to make sure that there's no question of a conflict of interest.
There have been calls for Wilson's resignation, but he says he's not going anywhere and is running for King County Executive. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 146 points, NASDAQ up 20. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Tacoma, a crash is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near 54th Avenue East. You're slow from the Costco Business Center to the Emerald Queen Casino. In Seattle, maintenance work is wrapped up on the northbound I-5 off-ramp to Swift Avenue. That should ease the pressure along Boeing Field, which has seen a couple of stalled vehicles. On the 520 bridge, your jam up east of Montlake has cleared. Traffic brought to you by Closets for Design. Custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. ClosetsByDesign.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 73 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a Tuesday. It's another gorgeous morning. Love it.
Ursula.
Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I feel like you're about to stir up trouble.
Before you get to your news.
Yes.
Have you ever debated or gone back and forth with someone who tells you that the earth is flat?
Not that specifically, but I have gone back and forth with somebody who.
Let me give some advice. Don't do it. Don't do that the same way I'm seeing this text line filled with people justifying ICE and military being like. Just so y'all know, on the text line, I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not arguing this. It would be like arguing split water fountains between black folks and white folks back in the day. I'm not arguing those topics with people.
I'm also not arguing those who say we want to get rid of violent criminals in this country who are here and are undocumented. I agree with you on that point. But I don't agree with what is happening and how it's happening right now. And they are not targeting criminals. I mean, this thing at MacArthur Park, you got to look and see what that was all about. Anyway.
So,
let's move on because I want to talk about something.
Stuff.
Yeah, I want to talk about something.
I ain't gonna
positive.
stir anything else up.
Okay, because there is one woman in West Seattle who is celebrating a major milestone. I think any year that she has a birthday is a major milestone because Rosa Fasciuto just turned 107 years old. And she spoke with KIRO 7 about what makes her feel so alive.
I was born in 1918 in an apartment in downtown Seattle. We'd go down by the school and roller skate, South Beacon Hill near Cleveland High School. That's where I lived. Let's walk up to the preacher. I've been widowed 3 times. I've had a lot of ups and downs. I think the reason I've lived so long is because I've been so active. Happy birthday. Having lots of friends, always doing something. And don't sit there and say, oh, there's nothing to do. Go out and volunteer somewhere, but keep active.
Okay, I love her. She enjoys playing bingo. I think she's very social at the place where she is living right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's right, though. I choose joy. It sounds like that is something that she has done. And my question to all of you listening right now.
Choosing joy.
I know.
Some of y'all ain't choosing no joy in a long time. But what you got?
Well, I want you to choose joy daily too, Gee. Okay,
No. I choose joy.
Okay. So, do you want to live to 107? Like, have you ever thought about that whole thing? Like, how long would you want to live?
Yes. I would love to live to 107. And I'm ready for Ursula, because a lot of times I talk to ladies. Ladies sometimes, they're like, oh, I don't want to get that old, and I don't want to, I'd rather go early. So Ursula is going to say, you say no to 107, right?
No. If I want to live as long as I don't have to be fully supported by whether it's machines or have such a horrible quality of life that it makes zero sense for me to, because you can keep someone alive for a very, very long time, but the quality of life would play into that. Okay. But if I'm enjoying life like she is, like Rosa is at 107, oh, heck yeah, I want to live that long. Do you realize, though, that there are more than 100,000 centenarians in the U.S. right now? So they make up 0.03% of the population. So there are a lot of people, and that's a lot more than where we were certainly in the 1950s, 1990s. I mean, people can live a lot longer, and it's more women that are living longer than men, by the way.
So you would be okay living 107?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, well, then we could. Because a lot of times people, they say, well, gee, I don't want to get that old. And you know what I come back with?
No.
You know what I say?
Getting old is a privilege, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because if there's anyone that says, oh, I don't want to get that old, so to which I'll say, okay, then what age do you want to go then? What age?
Okay.
You
and
know
there
what I'm
used
saying?
to be people like, 85. No, there are people who are 85.
You see what I'm
who
saying?
Are living amazing lives.
Imagine making that deal.
Okay, imagine we got a president and the last president who were well into their 70s.
Yeah. Imagine, Ursula, could you imagine making that deal? Say, oh, no, I don't want to live to 107. I want to live to 85. And then when you're 84 years old, you're still working out at the gym. You're still going golf. You're still always doing these good times. You're like, well, hey, can I push back that date? No.
Yeah, what do you think the secret to good, long life is? Okay, I'm going to let you listen to this story. Actually, CNN did it 10 years ago. This is a woman in Texas who was 104 years old. This was her secret.
You're drinking Dr. Pepper right now.
It's exactly right. That stuff is good. It's got sugar in it, and two doctors have told me that if I drink it, I will die, but they died first.
Okay, so that's proof that it's good for you.
Yeah.
So you think that this drink has helped you live to this age of 104?
Well, evidently, because everybody tells me it has too much sugar in it, but since I've been drinking 3 a day for 50 or 60 years, evidently my body needs sugar.
Okay, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that, but she sounds like my spirit animal.
That's my favorite video on the internet, by the way. Whenever I'm feeling sad, I go back and watch that.
So you ask me the secret.
Yeah.
And I know there's some professionals out here, some doctors out here, and you probably know way more than me about this topic.
Exercise.
I think the number one ingredient to long old age, genetics.
Oh, that.
I really believe that.
Lifestyle choices absolutely play a role, but you always hear of that woman who drinks 3 Dr. Peppers and lives to 104, or someone who smokes all their lives.
You hear about that?
Yeah, you hear about that.
And you hear about the person that's working out, eating right, doing everything right.
Exactly. But I think you can increase your odds of living much longer if you do all the things that we know we need to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes refuse to do.
What's one thing, Ursula, you want to keep doing the rest of your life?
Smiling, meeting new people. Always being surrounded by love of my family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're saying, what is the one thing?
Yeah.
Feeling like I could learn something new every single day.
I think that'll be easy for me. I'll tell you what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
For me, I worry about becoming that cranky old person. No, I'm dead serious.
So what are you doing to stop it?
I don't know.
Stop being cranky.
Reading some of these text messages.
Okay, you know what? They bring me lots of joy.
They do. They do. All right, Ursula, we got some scenarios coming up next. And check out the subject line. My kid's friend's mom wants to sleep over too. We do that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
I was chatting with my friend Jonathan from DUI Heroes, and he told me a lot of people don't realize roadside standardized field sobriety tests are voluntary, meaning you don't have to perform them. You can simply say no thank you. You also can ask to speak with your lawyer immediately, which he strongly recommends you do. The police are building a case against you. Don't risk further implicating yourself. Call DUI Heroes immediately. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com, your DUI defense specialist.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking immunotherapy. But research is underfunded and kids need your help. Join Safeway and say yes at checkout to donate to Immunoheroes. Let's fight cancer for all kid kind.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. The 11 o'clock hour is coming up, and we will talk about a longtime Seattle dive bar that is looking at facing lease termination. We talk about that in the 11 o'clock hour, and agree to disagree will happen in the 11 o'clock hour. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Okay, this might sound weird. At least if you think so, so did I. That's why I'm writing here. My 4th grade son asked if one of his friends could spend the night this weekend. I said sure, and told him to have the kid's mom call to set it up. The friend's mom, she said her son could stay if she can stay too. She is nervous about letting her son sleep away from the house and would feel better if she were there. She said if we weren't comfortable with that, no problem. Then she could pick up her son before bedtime. I have never heard of such a thing. I don't want this woman sleeping in my guest room, but my son wants his buddy to come over. What do you all think about this? Have you ever heard of this? 888. Ursula, don't make me laugh. The look you gave. 888-973-5476. Ursula, what do you got?
Okay, a couple of things.
Yeah.
This mom is taking helicopter parenting to a whole new level. If you don't feel comfortable with your son having a sleepover, then don't have him sleep over. And I know that you have said on past shows where you don't believe in the whole sleepover thing. I enjoyed sleepovers, although I remember one of my first ones, I did have to call and say, please pick me up. I couldn't do it. But then I really loved having sleepovers, and nothing horrible happened during any of them. In fact, there was one time where I remember when my best friend would just keep asking me to stay over. Finally, I overheard her dad say, I think it's time for Ursula to go home. However, just putting it, that this just popped up in my head.
I do that all the time on the show.
But yeah, don't have him come over. That's embarrassing. Sleep over while your kid is sleeping over? No. Just pick him up.
Just pick him up. I agree. Just pick him up. And by the way, there's a little something going on. The person you writing this, you must be a good-looking fella, because she wants to stay over. You didn't qualify this comment.
I didn't even go down that route. I just thought of helicopter parenting.
What you mean? Hey, my son can stay over there, but I need to stay too. How could you not think that, Ursula? Are you kidding me? Could you? I couldn't imagine. Hey, babe, just want to let you know, little Peter is going to be staying the night, and so is his mama. Sophia, I don't know. Maybe Gen Z looks at this different, because Gen Z is the generation that's getting divorced and still living together. So what do you got?
No, I don't think Gen Z looks at this different. Can you imagine being the kid at the sleepover whose mom is in the other room because you can't stay alone? No, I full-heartedly agree. If you're not comfortable with your kid having a sleepover, drop them off and pick them up at the end of the evening, and you can drop them off at breakfast so they don't miss any part of the friend shenanigans. But no, you cannot. And also to put the other family in that position to be
Seriously.
like, oh, we now have to host a grown woman as well. Absolutely not. Not for it. Not for it.
There's no other reason that anybody could.
No, Glenn in Atlanta believes you. It has the same thought that crossed his mind.
For sure.
That it was.
You wouldn't even.
I think that there are just some parents who want to be like a part of their kids and cannot let that. I mean, an umbilical cord is tight. It's still attached and it's very tight.
Hey, Ursula, this is different.
It's odd.
You want to know how I know this is different?
What's that?
Watch this. In my lifetime, I've never heard of this. Have you ever heard of something like this?
Mm-mm.
That ought to tell you, this is different. I think she wants a little something. Hey, wink, wink. I'll meet you by the breakfast nook at 2 a.m. Wink, wink. And I'll make you a sandwich.
And then
wink, wink.
Even more reason just to say no. And if someone proposed that. Now, I got to ask you, because we have a lot of time here.
What do you got?
I remember when our oldest was actually it was our youngest. He was 5 years old, invited to a birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was a birthday party at the Space Needle, and maybe this mom is listening right now. And I was thinking, a whole bunch of 5-year-olds at the Space Needle? I'm coming along. Because I'm not, so I basically said I invited myself, and I offered to pay for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I was the only other mom there, and I realized, man, am I helicopter parenting?
Yes.
Because she was going to be alone with like 12 other 5-year-olds at the Space Needle.
Oh, no. You did the right thing.
It actually, I think, worked out.
No, you did the right thing. First of all, now that was back in the day.
That was back in the day.
Today, if there is a mom like, hey, drop little Cindy off and has 12 5-year-olds by herself,
yeah,
something wrong with them.
No, this woman was lovely. I just thought, I'm not going to have a 5-year-old at the Space Needle on his own at a birthday party.
But that's different because that's like a location. You know, there's things that are outside of your circumstances. It's not at someone's private home. But if it's someone's private home and you trust the parent enough to let your kid sleep over there, don't go with your kid.
Nick, let the kid come over to play, but I'm not letting him ruin the sleepover for the rest of the kids. Being one of the friends who maybe has to watch this awkward situation when you're trying to have fun, talk about maybe who you like at school while this boy is still talking about his mom. Listen, I've heard of helicopter parenting, but this just sounds like stain on the shirt kind of parenting where she just won't get away. Let him have a night to himself. Jeez, I feel like it's just overreaction over here.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I just thought about something.
Yeah, what's that?
This is set up.
Yeah.
This is set up. He is covering his tracks. He's writing us, telling us about this story. Hey, listen, just say that you need to sleep in the same house as your son. Hey, honey. Hey, little Peter can't sleep over unless she sleeps over as well. This is a trap. This is a setup, Ursula.
Well, I'm reading 718 says, we have friends who will not allow their children to sleep over. We take the option of a 10 p.m. pickup. That works fine. Actually, I think my daughter is usually better for it. I don't understand the desire to keep kids away from sleepovers, though, especially if you know the parents and you know their home is clean and safe.
Do you ever really know the parents? Come on now.
How much checking did you do when your kids did sleepovers? Because I'm going to be honest, I did not call the parents before. I appreciated parents who would call me beforehand when their kids would sleep over. I appreciated that.
I do suspect the kid doesn't want to stay the night. Yeah.
Yeah. These sleepovers, y'all need to be careful. All right, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, we have Agree to Disagree happening at 11:30 hour. And then also, Ursula, can we talk about 2 cities in the state of Washington right now that have credit card delinquency? Talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Hey, Bill. What? Do you remember when we used to gang walk, baby? Man, was we crazy? Yeah, man. Give me back the other fellas, little Sonny.
Oh, it is the time of the season for pests. That's right. No one likes them. No one knows where they come from, but we can all agree no one wants them in their house. Mike Salk here for Crawl Pros, and they have a full-service pest control division now called Pest Pros. They can come to your house and do a full corner-to-corner inspection, take care of any problems, just like they did at my home. This is the time of the year you'll start seeing more ants in and around your home. You may also begin hearing a little buzzing outdoors. Bees, wasps, hornets, if they make a nest on your property, that is a huge nuisance. So please don't try to take care of those nests on your own. Simply call Pest Pros to have any nest removed and destroyed professionally before the problem grows or you and your guest ends up getting stung. Pest Pros is the full-service pest control division of Crawl Pros with eco-friendly treatments to keep ants, stinging insects, and all sorts of critters from making their way into your home. If you're worried about rodents, ants, or other bugs or an issue in and around your home, call Pest Pros or visit gopestpros.com to schedule a free inspection at gopestpros.com.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The death toll from the devastating floods in Texas is now at 109. Authorities held a news conference today where the questions focused on who was responsible for monitoring the weather and how quickly they responded.
Your community is asking these questions.
And we will get answers. Right now, all of our resources are focused to recovery.
Reporter Karen Waugh.
Every person we interview here in Kerrville, in Kerr County, when we ask them, what do you want us to ask the public officials? What do you want us as reporters to ask at these press conferences? Most of them say we want to hear about what happened with these emergency alerts.
4 days have passed since anyone was found alive in the aftermath. Lorena Gillen owns an RV park that was swept away.
The only thing that is going through my mind right now is like, what now? How are we going to move forward? I mean, who is going to, help with this?
President Trump says he plans to visit the region Friday. He held a cabinet meeting today and blasted Russian President Putin. Linda Kenyon has more from the White House.
The president has made this perfectly clear.
I'm not happy with Putin.
Speaking at a cabinet meeting, Trump cursed when reflecting on the Russian president's foot-dragging over a peace deal with Ukraine.
It's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Trump also discussed further sanctions against Russia.
Totally at my option, and to terminate totally at my option, and I'm looking at it very strongly.
The president's comments came one day after his decision to resume sending weapons to Ukraine. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Trump says he will meet again today with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is in Washington to discuss a ceasefire proposal for Gaza. Elizabeth Palmer reports from Tel Aviv. The sticking point remains what comes after.
It's very murky and, in fact, very difficult for both sides to agree on what would happen after the 60 days, because that now we're talking about a real political settlement for the region, and it's elusive, to say the least.
Sanitation workers in Philadelphia have been on strike for more than a week now, and the trash is overflowing at drop-off locations around the city. Residents just hoping for an end to it all.
The mayor, whoever's responsible for this, pay these people. I mean, pay them what they need and let them do their job.
On Wall Street, stocks are mixed again today. Investors have been watching for the latest news on the tariffs. The Dow Jones Industrials are currently down. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Illegal street racing leaves a woman in critical condition. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Tacoma, the crash has been cleared from I-5 northbound near 54th Avenue East. Still a bit slow for you around the Emerald Queen Casino. In Kirkland, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 southbound at Northeast 124th Street. You are sluggish through Totem Lake. I'm seeing some slowing on I-5 southbound and Federal Way. Travel time Federal Way to Tacoma is 16 minutes. That's about 7 longer than usual. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. An illegal street takeover has left a woman in critical condition. And as KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports, Auburn police are looking for witnesses to the July 4th event.
Auburn police say when officers arrived to control the crowd, one of those cars at this takeover took off and ran over an 18-year-old girl.
These events are extremely dangerous.
Auburn police say detectives in the traffic unit are combing through cameras across the city.
We know that there were a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people who probably have video, probably know exactly who it was and what happened.
As they continue their search for those responsible.
The man known as the Belltown Hellcat is heading to jail. A judge says 22-year-old Miles Hudson put lives at risk by repeatedly driving recklessly through the city of Seattle in his modified Dodge Charger. KIRO 7 TV reports Hudson was sentenced to a year with credit for time served. He'll spend about 30 days behind bars. He was also ordered to pay $5,000 and do 24 hours of community service. A Port Orchard neighborhood is mourning the loss of a 40-year-old man and his 9-year-old daughter killed in a weekend house fire. Michelle Merlino tells KIRO 7 TV.
We're still processing, and it's hard to believe that they're gone and the house is gone. It's hard to believe. And we don't know what we can do for them. It's hard.
Firefighters say the house was engulfed in flames when they arrived. The fire marshal is looking for the cause of that fire. Boeing continues to recover from last year's door plug blowout and 2 deadly MAX crashes about 6 years ago. The company delivered 60 airplanes last month, including 42 MAX jets. And the Seattle Times says Boeing had its best delivery rate for the first half of a year since 2018. A Seattle woman marks a major milestone.
I was born in 1918.
Rosa just celebrated her 107th birthday this week. She tells KIRO 7 TV the secret to a long life is stay busy.
Always doing something, and don't sit there and say, oh, there's nothing to do. Go out and volunteer somewhere, but keep active.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the mid-80s. It's 74 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday. I think it's July 8th, but we'll see.
Is.
Oh, I made it.
It is.
Good.
It's also a particular big sale day that is now going to extend even longer than today.
Oh, is that
so
today?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that coming up. Also, coming up at 11:30, Agree to Disagree, which is always a really fun segment. And as always, we count on you to make this show especially interesting. Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get to it. What's
top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So this is a story that you sent to us. Like, if you had to guess, what cities in our state do you think are the most behind on credit card payments? And you know the answer, G, but in case you're wondering, if you said Seattle, yes, you're right. According to this new study from Wallet Hub, Seattle is one of them. And then Spokane is among the worst in the country when it comes to making timely credit card payments. Mm-hmm. So actually, Seattle ranked third worst, and Spokane is just behind at number 4, only behind Fremont, California, which was at the top, and then followed by Plano, Texas. So good grief. I mean, we're not even talking. Okay, so in Seattle, credit card delinquencies jumped 15% in just 1 year. But even though you've got that spike, Seattle still has relatively low credit card debt overall, and one of the lowest delinquency rates across all types of debt, not just cards. So the bigger story really may be more stress among the folks who are otherwise financially stable. Right. So there are people who maybe you assume are doing really well, who maybe just on the outside are doing really well.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of people that are going through that in this state. And I mean, obviously right now with this topic, we're talking about Seattle and Spokane, but there are a lot of people that are just trying to make it. And one of the number one reasons are what we talk about all the time is housing affordability. It's rough. And this is why food insecurity plays into it. Like when people think food insecurity, you're thinking about someone who doesn't have a job. No, there are a lot of people with jobs that are trying to balance their budget. And so they go to their budget and they say, okay, this month we can only spend $300 at the grocery store for food for families of 4. And sometimes you're trying to make those red beans and rice stretch. You're trying to make those eggs stretch. And
Dollar Tree suddenly sounds like a great place to go grocery shopping.
No doubt about it.
So, question though, like, have you ever thought, you and I are fortunate in that we are fully employed. Both of us have our kids done with school. We're not, they're not, well, I'm going to make an assumption here. I don't have to pay for my kids' day-to-day expenses.
Neither do I.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a huge thing. But have you ever thought, like, what would be the first thing that you would cut out if you had to, basically, to make sure that you could pay your credit cards on time? Or could you ever even see your life without using credit cards?
Yes. And when we talk about this, in the first thing that most people go to touch, the first thing you touch is food. It could be, okay, I'm not going to go out to eat. Okay, I'm going to bring my lunch to work. Okay, I'm going to stop ordering DoorDash. Okay, I'm going to, instead of spending $500 this month in groceries, I'm going to spend $250 this month in groceries. Food is the first thing that we touch. So, especially when I was broke. But if it would happen today, a lot of times our bills are fixed, right? Your insurance is fixed, your car payment is fixed, your internet is fixed, your light and gas, and all the a lot of your mortgage. A lot of your things are fixed. It's all the subjective items that you go to purchase during the month.
Yeah, one of the things that we thought of as we were doing, the first remodel that we've done, first and only major remodel I've done in my life was a couple of years ago, as y'all know. And one of the things we did was, hey, if one of us were to lose a job, it was like we need to make sure that we would have the opportunity or the potential to have income generated by renting out our basement. Or taking on a roommate kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there are a lot of people who are having to deal with it. Just today, we're talking about TikTok layoffs.
Boom.
Every single day, we're talking about layoffs. Thousands of people lay off here, lay off there. So there are a lot of this. This doesn't surprise me in many ways that a lot of folks are behind on their credit card payments.
Before you move on, it's interesting when we are talking about layoffs here locally. We are talking about layoffs with some of the biggest companies in the world. Just now, today, there has been some layoffs at TikTok. Recently, we've been talking about a lot of layoffs with Microsoft. Amazon had their layoffs before. So what I'm saying is we know that a lot of the reasons why rent and our housing affordability is through the roof is because this place is a tech hub, right? So we know a lot of tech folks are making money, but there's a lot of tech folks that are being laid
suddenly
off.
Unemployed. And unemployment is not going to cover if you either bought or you are renting some big fancy condo in South Lake Union. Those payments are a lot harder to make. And then again, you understand why people.
And guess what you don't have when you lose that employer, when you are out of that job. So when you don't have that employer, now we all know our health insurance is usually locked in to our employer.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you're unemployed, you're having to also go out and get health insurance. That's a scary thing. And for some of you all out there,
Okay, so I want to just mention a couple of things because in this Wallet Hub article, they were saying, you know what, you don't have to panic if you are among those who've slipped behind on a payment or two. You usually have a 30-day grace period before your credit score will take a hit. So do what you can to try to alleviate that situation. You might get slapped with a late fee, but if you catch up in time, you can avoid long-term damage. They're also saying that maybe you can ask your bank for a hardship plan. And this is something that people are oftentimes too proud to do. I remember when I was in college and I did have a hard time. I tried not to put things on my credit card, but I was paying for my tuition, trying to juggle a bunch of jobs, and I got behind. And you'd be surprised if you call and say, I can't make the minimum payment or I can't make this payment on time, but can we work out a plan? Like sometimes they'll say, okay, we'll eliminate the fee. Yeah. It's worth asking, first of all.
You want to know what I'm really good at?
What's that?
Really good at? I don't get stressed when they be calling me, asking me what a payment is.
Oh.
It's real easy for me to say, I ain't got it. I say that with a straight face. I used to say that.
Yeah.
I ain't got it.
Okay, but then that's not their problem. That's your problem.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what's your plan to pay me?
Stop calling me? I promise you I'm not going to pay you faster with you calling me all the time. So yeah. I would be nice and say, hey, look, you stop calling me.
Another thing they're saying is set up automatic payments. Build a small emergency fund. A lot of people don't have an emergency fund. And I know it's easy to say, and duh. But, for a lot of people, it's just
saw it
trying to get by.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems ironic that I'm going to go from that story to this one about Amazon now holding its Prime Day promotional sale, which actually is now lasting 4 days. And CBS's tech contributor Ian Scherr says other online retailers are also expected to have big sales this week.
A lot of publications and fan communities have spent the last decade sifting through the best deals and highlighting them to their communities. Another smart shopping tactic has been to actually look at other retailers. Many of Amazon's competitors now try to stack up against Prime Day and as a result can push prices lower, particularly for popular products.
Okay, first of all, Amazon was Prime Day. Then it became 2 days. Now we've got 4 days?
You mad?
Yeah, First of all, it's not going to make me spend any more money. Mm-hmm. I don't rush to Amazon Prime Day to look for the deals. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm at the point of my life, honestly, where I have way too much stuff.
How are you contributing? How are you helping out Amazon?
How am I helping out Amazon? Mm-hmm. I have a Prime membership, one that is used by several members of my family.
And right now, it's Prime Day, right?
How am I helping? I'm going to help out other people by not. I'm not going to be
by talking about it.
I know. I know. It's kind of like Starbucks and the change of cups,
right? But okay. So the question is,
well, Amazon is part of our culture anymore.
No doubt. Sophia and I were talking, and are you one of those, Ursula, that this Prime Day, are you going to go online to see?
No.
Because
I do it as needed.
My wife and her friends, this is what they into. Now, I'm shocked they haven't even sent text messages about this. I think that my wife, I think it is a sport for her to just find a deal. You know those people that go to buy something, and I think they justify it to themselves?
There's a dopamine hit that comes along with it. Yes. When you find something that is such a good bargain.
Like, my wife can never just buy something and be like, hey, look what I got. It's, hey, look, I got a great deal on this.
Yes. Because I'll tell you why we do that.
Why?
Because we know we don't need it. So we have to justify it by saying, this was a deal I just could not pass up.
Is that it?
So now I have another purple blouse that I don't need.
I will say I don't get sucked in, or at least I tell myself I don't get sucked into like the online discounted deals, but I love thrift shopping for that exact reason.
Yes.
Because I have a million little fun shirts that I'm like, well, it was only $4 or $5. Like, how can I not get it? Do you understand how much of a steal this is? And no matter what it is, your dopamine receptors love a deal.
They do. But you know what your dopamine receptors don't love?
What's that?
Having to deal with storage. Having to deal with getting rid of things that people have accumulated over the years. Things that you know that never got put to good use, but were purchased with the idea that, oh, maybe someone else can use it. Or this was such a good deal that I couldn't pass it up. Or this is such great value and I see it at Goodwill or I see it at St. Vincent Paul. I see it at wherever thrift store and I can't pass it up. And then you bring it home and it's never used.
Our good friend Emily in Kirkland texts in and says, last night I screenshotted the items in my Amazon cart. I compared it to the prices today. And 4 items were Prime Day, were actually raised in price last night and discounted today, making it the same price as when it wasn't on sale.
There you go, Emily.
I'd say this. Sophia and I talked about this.
Thank you for that information.
The time of the year that I think that we get the best deals, Sophia and I talked about this, that you really like, okay, you really get good, is Black Friday. I actually think and believe you get the best deals on Black Friday.
You can, but I will tell you that because not everybody shops, they bring up Black Friday-like deals, and then there's another name for it, and then they come up. I'm also past that time when I'm going to stay up or get up really early to take advantage of those deals.
But it's not like that anymore.
Exactly.
The culture has changed entirely. So actually, Black Friday deals are more like a weekend of Black Friday deals. So you don't have to stay up till midnight, 1 in the morning to get deals.
Thank God. Okay. Got to bring up one other thing.
Okay.
So do you have a favorite spot in Pierce County? Like it's that dive bar or that okay, I can't see you in a dive bar, but that place where everybody loves to hang out. Do you have a place?
I'll give a shout out to Vibes on South Tacoma Way.
Okay. So for decades in Seattle, the Little Red Hen has been one of those rare Seattle gems. It's a dive bar. It's also a dance floor. It's a karaoke stage. But it's just one of those places where a lot of people hang out. It's like that third place, kind of like, what Starbucks used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not work, not home. But it's that third place. And right now, its future is hanging by a thread. Mm-hmm. So this is in Green Lake. It is 92 years old. It's been there forever. I've driven by it tons of times. I'll be honest, I've never been in. But the owner has been hit with a notice to vacate by the end of this month because the property's owner says the owner of the hen, Dominic Shim, has been on this month-to-month lease and refused to sign a new one. But Shim says, hey, this is really, I thought I had until 2030, and so he has no plans to leave quietly. And apparently the real big beef is about trash. So apparently this guy Shim says he had a handshake agreement with a neighboring restaurant to share trash collection costs. So we're talking literally about trash. And that deal got shut down, and Shim says the changes could cost him an extra $40,000 a year. So after they exchanged emails, the notice to terminate the lease followed just 2 weeks later. So legally, if Shim doesn't leave, the eviction proceedings could begin. But, I mean, what happens to all the folks who have loved to go to this place for over 90 years?
Change is inevitable. Right? That's the only thing that I can really say about that. As a matter of fact, just this morning, you're talking about sharing of expenses and deals. So this owner there made a deal with the neighbor, right, to share the cost in trash pickup. And then that deal didn't go. Now they're on the hook for trash pickup throughout the year.
Can't you guys work it out?
Well, that's what Sophia and I talked about. She told me how a lot of her friends in Gen Z share Netflix accounts, Amazon accounts with their parents.
It's all good until it's not good.
That's what I'm saying. So Sophia got a whole system set up.
I mean, that's a little different than this, but yes, I have a system. I'm effective. I'm cost effective, okay? If I can get to maximize my plans, I will.
Yeah. By the way, I am talking about Vibe Dive Lounge down there on South Tacoma Way. Now, Ursula, you talked about Prime Day, right? I have a question. I want everybody to be honest. This has been listening to the show. You heard Ursula talking about Prime Day being today. Tell the truth. From the time Ursula brought it up and talked about it until now, have you looked at Amazon yet since she said that?
Cletus and Federal Way is scrolling right now. Great.
Ursula has contributed to people heading over to Prime.
Kathy in the 206 says, yeah, Ursula, I have too many clothes. Shoes and clothes are my weakness. I get it. At some point, you just don't need any more.
Yeah. Somebody text in Ursula. Murray in Des Moines says, what happened to your third hour of agree to disagree? Please bring that back. Hey, Murray, we do it now at 11:30. We had to make sure we were having too much fun, right? Too much fun. And Ursula was like, hey, we're having too much fun at 11 o'clock hour. Let's move agree to disagree at 11:30, and then we're going to do news at 11. So that's what happened. Huh?
If that was a really good decision, somehow it's going to be your choice.
All right. Agree to disagree comes up next. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's morning news every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
You know how much I love to relax after a hard day's work, and if that is something that you enjoy doing, but you cannot relax in your tub because it's just too grimy, it is time to call my friends at Bathfitter. You can have a beautiful updated bathroom installed in just one day and backed by a lifetime warranty. So my friend Sharon recently bought a condo, and she told me that the bathroom was in terrible shape. And I told her about Bathfitter, and she did her own research, which she always does, and she does a great job. But she came to the same conclusion that I did. Compared to other companies in the market, Bathfitter just offered the highest quality and the best value, in her words, by far. Bathfitter's quality is truly unmatched. They have more than 40 years experience, and it's no wonder that they have more than 2 million happy customers. Right now, you can take advantage of 0% interest for 24 months. Call Bathfitter today or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule your free consultation.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking immunotherapy. But research is underfunded and kids need your help. Join Safeway and say yes at checkout to donate to Immunoheroes. Let's fight cancer for all kidkind.
Rhonda, her husband Steve, and his friend Lee have been crabbing and fishing buddies for over 30 years. But pulling up those pots, reeling in the kings, and just living life wore down their shoulders, knees, and thumbs. So, before they could get their limit again, they went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, for stem cell therapy.
I feel like I'm 100%. The difference is amazing.
Dr. Mark did my knees, and that seemed to work. So when I hurt myself on the shoulder with the rotator cuff and the labrum, I did the stem cell, and it did the trick. No pain whatsoever.
It's definitely worth going in, talk to Dr. Wagner. He'll let you know if it's something that will work for you or not. But I would do it again in a moment.
Oh, go see Dr. Mark Wagner and have stem cells. You won't regret it.
Crabbing season was saved.
That's not going to make the crabs happy.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, knee, or thumb, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. More than 100 people are now confirmed dead from flooding in central Texas, and hope of finding them missing alive is dwindling. Kerrville Police Sergeant Jonathan Lamb.
As far as I know, the last live rescue, unless there's new information, and I don't believe there is, was made on Friday.
This child was in one of the summer camps along the Guadalupe River that was overwhelmed by water.
There's a little hole that you could see through my window because I was on the top bunk, and I looked down and I saw water.
She and her sister are heading home with their parents now. Other survivors have no home to go to.
This was our paradise, but now it's all gone. I mean, it's gone. There's nothing left.
People from across the country are rushing in to help. At least 2 American Red Cross volunteers from Western Washington are on the ground in Central Texas. Will McMahon tells KIRO 7 TV he's volunteered in other disasters.
Everybody, in my experience, on all the disasters I've been on, everybody works really hard.
The Red Cross has set up several emergency shelters to provide food, medical, and financial support. President Trump has hinted that undocumented farm workers could get a pass on deportations, but Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins is saying
no amnesty under any circumstances. Mass deportations continue.
And she suggests new work requirements could fill the fields.
There are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America.
Amazon Prime Day is officially underway. The Seattle-based retail giant says that now through Friday, Prime members can snag discounts on all kinds of things. CBS News tech contributor Ian Schur.
Amazon's Prime Day sale in the summer has gone from a kind of silly moment into a genuine shopping holiday, which has multiple retailers now participating to compete with all of the traffic Amazon generates.
A longtime family-owned jewelry store in Bellevue plans to shut its doors for good. Alvin Goldfarb Jeweler opened in 1980. Stephen Goldfarb, who now runs the business, says he's retiring, so the store will close in September. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 156 points, NASDAQ up about 14. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Seattle, a crash is blocking the I-5 northbound collector distributor off-ramp to Madison Street. In Kirkland, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 southbound at Northeast 124th Street. You're sluggish through Totem Lake. And I'm seeing slowing still on I-5 southbound in Federal Way. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-80s today. It's 74 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and it's time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about traveling today with the new rule that you won't have to take your shoes off at the airport anymore. And I wanted to ask you if either of you have heard of airport theory yet. It's been a trend that's been going viral on the internet, specifically on TikTok. I know I always throw a lot of TikTok trends at you. But it's the idea that people are getting to the airport too early, and that actually you can get to the airport with just 15 minutes to spare and to still make your flight. A number of people online have been testing out the theory for themselves to see if they can still catch their flight. Some are going to the airport 15 minutes before they're boarding. Others, 15 minutes before their flight departs. The latter usually has TSA pre-check. And I don't necessarily do this, but I feel like I test out a version of this in myself. My sweet spot for getting through security is I like to be at my gate 15 to 30 minutes before I board. I don't like to be there too early. So, do you think it's worth testing airport theory, or would you get there no matter what?
Oh, I'll let G go first.
Yeah, I don't even know why Sophia did this. She knows where this is going. And Nick knows where this is going. You guys know where this is going. This is Gen Z. Always trying to shortcut things. Always trying to find the easy way out on things. No, I'm not testing the theory. You want to know why? I like to get to the airport with way enough time. I like to go and I like to go and get to my gate.
Okay, I know what you're about to say.
You want to go sit in the lounge and get your free meal and a glass of champagne.
I want to go hang out at the gate. Yeah. I get to the gate. But of course Gen Z wants to figure out, how can I test the theory on not getting there early? Okay, and then what happens is little Gen Z is caught by Luke Ducey heading to the airport. Oh, Gee and Ursula, there's a long line, and this one person said that they're going to miss their flight. That's because they wanted to test the theory.
I need to ask you a couple of questions, and I'll answer Sophia's question in a second, but I need to explore a little bit because I have an inquisitive mind.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so before you were bougie and were staying in the lounge and eating all the yummy free food, would you have been more apt to test this theory and not be there so early?
You know me well when it comes to punctuality.
Yes, I do.
No.
So this is
no.
So you have never missed a flight.
No.
You have never
anxiety, like the anxiety.
Yes.
Of testing that theory. I'm not.
Were you okay though when you would have to wait? Then you surprise yourself and get through everything so soon, and now you've got 90 minutes to wait at the gate. Do you tell yourself, "Man, I should have waited and not left so early," or you're like, "Okay, I'm good"?
I'm always like, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, got through. I'm 90 minutes early. Okay, I'm good.
Yes.
I've never been like, oh man, I should have came here later.
When it comes to airport
theory
and
airport
whole
theory.
airport theory and the idea of, I have certain recurring dreams. I'm not as punctual as G, and I have recurring dreams. And one is that I come into a classroom where I'm not ready for the test, and another one is me missing a flight. I have these dreams on occasion. And so, I don't want to test that theory. And I would just put this in one of those
Gen Z.
Not even Gen Z, but just dumb TikTok challenges. Do you remember other dumb TikTok challenges? Like, remember that one chip challenge where people would eat the spiciest chip and try or the get this one called the Skull Breaker challenge. That you don't even need an explanation. I think this idea of seeing how close you can cut it, especially if you deal with SEA. Are you kidding me?
However, I will argue. I don't necessarily like to test my luck all the time. I will argue, though, that sometimes people are so freaked out about being late. Like, I know some people that are like, we have to be there 2, 3, 4 hours before the airport. And sometimes it's just not that serious. Yes, during peak summer season, you might want to get there a little early. But on an off season, and, it's the middle of the year.
That's the thing, Sophia. Right now, there is no off season.
Yeah, but
yes, this is true.
Definitely had moments where everyone's like, get to the airport early, and then I get there, I'm through security within 15 minutes. I don't have TSA pre-check either. I'm talking no TSA pre-check. I get through security in 15 minutes. I go and buy my coffee, and I'm like, okay, now what? Now I just have to sit here.
Scroll.
And I don't love airports.
Read.
If you don't have an airport lounge or a place to waste your time, it's not fun to sit in an airport.
Okay,
it really isn't.
I have another question for y'all. If someone comes to the line while you're in the security line and says, oh my gosh, I've got 10 minutes, do you allow them to cut in?
Yep.
Oh, you didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What am I? I mean, first of all, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And when it does, and I've had that happen, like,
Yeah.
hey, excuse me, I'm kind of running late. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do too. But I know some people just get really worked up about it.
Them be the people.
Yeah. Okay.
that, yeah.
Okay. We're done.
You're done with airport theory?
Yes.
You've heard enough about the
Yes.
theory? Okay. Well, one last quick thing
Gotta be quick.
I want to talk to you guys about is, have you been to a local coffee shop recently? Have you seen the prices of a coffee? I love getting a little sweet treat, but it's upwards of $8 to $10 now. And
For a cup of coffee?
For a cup of coffee. If you're getting it with the fun modifications, if you like your iced vanilla latte with oat milk, which if I'm going to go outside and get a sweet treat, that's what I like. And now Starbucks, which used to be in that same price range, is now rolling out a new plan to make their drinks cheaper, adding new pumps or syrups now will be free. This comes after they've already made it where you no longer have additional costs for milk. Local coffee shops aren't evening that out, which means to support local, it is so much more expensive than shopping at big businesses. So my question for you is, will you still support local no matter what? Or do you think at the end of the day, like in this economy, those prices make a difference? What are you thinking, Ursula?
Whenever I can, I'm still going to support local, even if it means spending a little extra. I just went to a local restaurant in Des Moines over the weekend. I was shocked. I was literally shocked at the cost of fish and chips and just a meal. I mean, we were talking close to $30 per meal.
Welcome to Seattle.
Wally's.
And the Pacific Northwest.
Shocked.
Yeah.
It was good though, but it is expensive. But I'm willing to pay a little more to go local.
Sure. I'd love to tell you that I'm perfect, but I sometimes mess up and go by. That's a good deal. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I do. Sometimes I go get a good deal.
We all do.
I'm just speaking for myself. That I just, time to time I go get a good deal. Like, I went to McClendon's, and then I was like, oh, man. Oh. And I kind of went down the street. All right, coming up next, text messages, feedback, and then we have Ursula's Words to Live By.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter-protesters, we go to Scott Carty.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
I've been telling you about Bathfitter. I love the folks at Bathfitter. It is a locally owned company. They take such great care of you. And the best thing about Bathfitter is you can have a beautiful, updated bathroom installed in just one day, but is also backed by a lifetime warranty. You should do your research. I did. I looked around and I came to the conclusion that Bathfitter really offers the best value and the highest quality. We had a bathroom put in my mother-in-law's house right before we were going to rent it, and we needed it done quickly. And Bathfitter's designer came over. We worked together on finding all the right fixtures and the beautiful wall, all of it. And the crew came in. They didn't leave any mess. We didn't have to worry about any odors, and the quality is truly unmatched. They have more than 40 years experience, and it's no wonder that they have more than 2 million happy customers. And right now, you can take advantage of 0% interest for 24 months. Call Bathfitter today or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey guys, it's Keith Dashafi from Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington, and we are not done celebrating 100 years of industry leadership. For a limited time, get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, or choose 60 months of 0% financing with no interest and equal payments. That's right, 100 years strong, and we're giving you more ways to save on the Pella difference. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaPNW.com. Thank you again for letting us serve you in the Northwest.
Listen up, folks. If you think finding chrome hearts is tough, let me tell you, Urbanize has cracked the code. That's right. We're one of the rare stores vetted by Chrome Hearts, giving you the exclusive honor to bring you pieces that scream luxury and style. Forget about hopping on a plane to Las Vegas. Why bother when you can find an exquisite selection of chrome hearts right here in Kirkland Urban at Urbanize. Founded in 1988 in Los Angeles, this brand has worked with legends like Guns N' Roses, the Rolling Stones, and now you can rock that iconic eyewear without the travel hassle. So why wait? Elevate your style with chrome hearts at Urbanize, where luxury meets accessibility. Swing by today and see why everybody is talking about chrome hearts. Urbanize right there in the heart of Kirkland Urban. Book your appointment with myurbanize.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty, so you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
No, this is the Gee Ursula Show. I look over at Ursula before getting on the air. I said, Ursula, did this show fly today? And she gives me that look like, nope.
No, yeah. There were a couple moments I was feeling like I was flying by the seat of my pants, if that helps.
I thought today's show flew. And by the way, and for those who know it, 2 days in a row.
Yes.
I've had News Boss open. So Scott and Auburn is always making fun of me.
Uh-huh.
That's right. I've been working.
I love that people even know what News Boss is.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
No, I'm not saying it's open.
Do you have it open right now? Because we're about to read some text messages.
Oh, yep. I accidentally left it open. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we were talking about vacation persona.
Yeah.
Tracy in Tacoma says, vacation versus real life. My husband and I talk about this all the time. In real life, I'm introverted and I do everything I can to avoid situations where I have to make small talk with acquaintances or coworkers. But on vacation, I am chatting everybody up. The desk clerk, the housekeepers, other guests. I think it's the limited time commitment that appeals to me.
206 says, my personality definitely changes on vacation. I normally can't wake up in the morning, but if I'm at Disneyland, I'm definitely waking up at 4 a.m. to rope drop.
On painting your nails and going through security barefoot.
Wait.
Do you want me to explain rope drop? Did that confuse you?
Yeah. What is that?
Okay, so at Disney, I don't know if they do it at Disney World. At Disneyland specifically, Disneyland does a physical rope drop. That's what they call it. So that when the park opens, the first people standing there, they drop the rope and you can go through. And you're the first person at Disneyland. You get all and people run through all their favorite rides.
I've never seen rope drop.
Neither.
As a word.
World.
And I've been,
no.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I just never knew about that.
I will never be there at 4 a.m. is what I'm trying to say.
It's not 4 a.m. I think it starts at like
I would never
7.
be there first.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Gotcha. I saw your face. You were like, what does that mean? That's a Disneyland term.
On painting your nails, and okay, now you're going to be looking confused here too, going through security barefoot. David in 206 says, Gee, started with allowing my daughter to paint my toenails. Now, 15 years later, I get a pedicure and new polish about every 6 weeks.
Ed in Ballard says, painted nails are one of life's best little joys. Rock the manicure for yourself and maybe also to rile up the judgmental crowd.
Ernie in Kent says, Gee, that's why we're cool. You are who you are, and I love that. I would totally do black toenails, and Sandra would love it. I never want to be put in a fake box. Always feel free to be who you are.
We had the conversation, Ursula, about to living a long life. We had that awesome lady here locally, 107 years old. Brenton Belfair says, check this out, I hurt at 60.
No.
I can't imagine what 107 would feel like. I would only want to live to 97.3.
We love you,
like
Brent.
that. I like it.
Nick in Paulsbo says, my goal is to make it past 90. Every year after that is a blessing. Anything after 97 is just going to be fun time. As long as I can get out of bed and make people smile, I'll be living it up. Nick in Paulsbo, you nailed it. I love that. Me too.
Nikki in the 253 says, my grandma is turning 94 and still going strong. Not the best quality of life. Hurts her to get out. But my brother and mother take turns being her full-time caregiver, and I swear, because she has family surrounding her 24/7, she won't give up.
Becky in Maple Valley says, my mom's going to be 101 in September and is doing great, telling her life stories and sharing life with many friends. I think that's part of the secret.
Oh, here comes Doug in Mount Vernon. Avoid being a cranky old man. Become a cranky young man. Get it out of your system early.
Oh. Do you still think of yourself as young, G?
Every time G rips on Gen Z, that's the cranky man in him coming out.
Seriously.
No,
You're
I'm
starting
not.
to equate.
You want to know how I know I'm not young anymore?
How's that?
I work out every day.
Yeah.
And get out of bed and I'm still sore. I get out of bed. No, I'm sore from getting old. No, at some point you stop getting sore after you've been working out. No, I just stay sore all the time. It's like I got to get warmed up. Like if I get up right now to go walk, it's gonna take me about 7 to 8 steps to get going.
Why is it that I still don't feel old? Even though, it hurts me too.
Because you do a show with me. All right, Ursula, let's get to your words to live by. What you got?
Well, it's inspired by that woman who is 107. Happy birthday to her, by the way. And this is a quote from Harriet Tubman. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember that you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world.
Oh, that's a good one, Ursula.
Yeah.
Never
lose that passion.
Let's check in with our main man, Nick.
Well, not all people feel their truest self on average days while they're punching in the 9 to 5 and looking for a raise, but only when there's chance to get away from all the work, getting through the TSA to let loose all vacation quirks. And I'm sure that most would take the time regardless of their age, even if over 100 on the beach to set the stage. If you could still do it, don't set a deadline for yourself unless it's getting to the airport. In that case, give yourself plenty of time to get there, all right? Not 15 minutes.
It's good stuff, Nick. Sophia, Nick, have you guys ever seen the movie Footloose?
Yes, I've seen Footloose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I've met Kevin Bacon.
What?
In this studio, in this very studio.
I didn't know that.
I accidentally clunked his brother's head with my bracelet trying to put my armor on him.
Is Kevin Bacon short?
He's very short.
Man, what is it about all the great actors?
I'm much taller than him.
Really?
With my heels. Mm-hmm.
I saw Footloose in the movie theaters. My mom and sister went to go see it with them.
I watched it numerous times.
I love that movie.
It was so great.
It was such a good movie. I'm about to go watch that again. I haven't watched it in a long time. All right, Ursula, good show today.
Do it again tomorrow.
Just a reminder, we do have a meeting.
We do.
With the bosses.
Just looking forward to that.
Ursula, can we not have the meeting go an hour and a half?
Yeah, if you don't keep bringing up points.
Thanks, Ursula. Sophia, thank you. You're awesome. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure.
Nick, appreciate you as
You
well.
too, man.
Glad you guys didn't get upset with my Gen Z references. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Put your feet on the ground. They'll take the whole of the
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your